It is a sad occasion, first of all, because our distinguished Imam, spiritual leader, guide, who has done so much for this community and for the island as well, for the country as well, in various ways, is leaving us on Saturday. It would be wrong on my part to say that he is leaving us. He is being literally forced to leave. That is the first reason for which it is sad. If a religious leader in this country, an imam, who is here in the first place to cater to the needs of a particular community, and over and above this mission and task, he goes on to serve the needs of the people as a whole. If such persons are declared unwanted in a country, then that country must be taking a very strange course. I personally don't know why Maulana M.I.Khushtar is being asked to leave the country. That is why his permission has not been granted for extension of stay in this country. I don't know it because the reasons have never been revealed, like so many things which are never revealed. The Muslim community does not know it. The people of Mauritius do not know it. Only some people seem to keep this type of secret to themselves. Only some people seem to know the reasons to certain things. If I were given to guess what were the reasons for which Imam Sahib is being refused permission to stay, I couldn't find it. Because there is none. Doing good work cannot be a reason for refusal of permission to continue to do that good work. I don't know, Imam Sahib, what wrong you have committed. I only know what good you have committed. I'm not going to repeat what the chairman said a moment ago, but I shall try to interpret and give you in a nutshell the significance of those contributions in a society like ours. Religion is, we have been told by many secular philosophers and thinkers, a very personal thing. It's a question of belief and conviction. In practice, much more so. When you practice your religion, it is your own affair. This might be taken as a paradox and a contradiction. Because if religion, which is supposed to cater to the needs, the spiritual needs of men, who are a private affair, then we wonder how it becomes, how it serves that task, that duty, that social duty. Well, you have given us the evidence, the illustration of this particular task, served by religion. In fact, Imam Sahib, you have told us, you have constantly told us in this country, in your sermons, that following the path of Islam coincides with the other aspirations of humanity. You have not taught us hatred. You have not taught us exploitation. You have not encouraged any form of fanaticism. You have never taken advantage of the following that you had on the part of the Muslim community for personal advancement, for personal honor, prestige and grandeur, as so many people do in this country and in other parts of the world. The truth has to be told. The lesson we have learned from you, Imam Sahib, and we practice it in your presence. The truth we have learned from you, the lesson we have learned from you, we are sure is the right one, because it comes from the source itself. Islam has never discouraged anyone from telling the truth, be he a Muslim or someone belonging to another community or another religion. If I were given another guess, I would still not find any reason to justify to myself why you cannot stay in this country. Perhaps it is because the country doesn't need you, or some people do not need you, or the community doesn't need you, so you have nothing to do in this country. But even then, some people can still stay as tourists. Even this privilege, you're not good enough to obtain. There must be some reasons. Finally, what else can we guess at? Is it because your work is obstructing the progress of this country? Is it because the mission which you have set yourself to enlighten the Muslim community and to show them what they should do, and also your constant sermons upon leadership, the leadership within a community, within a country? Are these the reasons? If they are the reasons, then they are wrong, completely wrong. On the contrary, the country must be grateful to you, the Muslim community must be grateful to you, and even those individuals perhaps who are rather confused about what leadership is all about, even they must be grateful to you, because you have shown them at least the path to true leadership, and you have given them the opportunity to correct themselves and to retract and to take lesson, conscience of their responsibilities. This has been your mission. You have done it. For this, we should all be grateful to you. Even this, as I have said, Imam Sahib, cannot be the reason for which you are not staying. Anyway, it is not a tragedy that you are not staying. The chairman a moment ago said that we should pray. I say we should not pray. We should take action. Prayer is a good thing. You have taught us prayer is good. We should all pray. We believe in God. But there is a need for action as well. What kind of action? Some people might shiver with fear, because when we talk of action, people start visualizing bloodshed and death. When we talk of action, people start seeing in their dreams disruption and violence. These are people who are, perhaps, in the psychological sense of the word, suffering from self-obsession. Action does not mean violence. Action has never meant violence. Action has never meant subversion. Action has never meant death or killing. Action, first of all, is the internal revolution within each man, each individual, and this is the first lesson of Islam. You have taught it to us, Imam Sahib. Thank you for it. This is the action which every Muslim should take in this country. First of all, take conscience. Each Muslim should see that there is some lessons to be taken and learned from this whole situation that you are confronted with. Take conscience that you have been wrong in the past. You have been wrong in many ways. The Muslim community has been wrong in many ways. Perhaps not only the Muslim community, perhaps every Muslim. But considering the fact that you were entrusted, or you had entrusted yourself with the responsibility of enlightening the Muslim community first, I would say that it is much more relevant to talk of the Muslim here. You have, by your action, taught us what action each Muslim should take. The practice of Islam does not allow for any fanaticism, for any blind support to any slogan, for any facilities accorded to machinations and exploitation. And the teachings of Islam also, as you have often propounded, Imam Sahib, do not encourage us to let ourselves be blindly led by any leader or any group of leaders on any path which he or they think convenient for them. This is the truth. I am saying it, and it is a truth embedded in the heart of every Muslim in this country, and every enlightened individual in this country, and every Mauritian with a bit of common sense. Now, I am saying it because I have taken the lesson from you, Imam Sahib, and I am practicing the lesson, as I have said, in your presence. If you were never afraid to tell the truth, if no Muslim leader in the past or present and in the future, no one actually will ever be obstructed by fear to tell the truth. And if our holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was never afraid to tell the truth, why should I be afraid to tell the truth? This is one way in which I believe I can, and every Muslim can, practice the teachings of Islam. Imam said, I said a moment ago that it is not a tragedy that you are not still. It is sad, but it is not a tragedy. Because your mission doesn't end here. And I believe that if your encouragement, the message of your sermon is taken into consideration and practiced, your work, the works you have already done, your achievements will continue. They will always be alive. They will go on. In spite of any attempt of our efforts, perhaps to denigrate your personality or to show that personality in dark lines. I maintain that it is not a tragedy that you are leaving us. As Allama Iqbal said, the servant of God is not in need of any station. The servant of God has no slave, and the servant of God is a slave of no man. And the servant of God knows no fear. These are the qualities with which I personally identify Imam Sahib. Those are the characteristics which I believe shine most in you and have always shown most brilliantly in you. And I just hope that those qualities could shine in some of those persons who have in the past pretended, I would say pretended, because when you don't see concrete result in an effort behind something, you are bound to conclude that it was pretension. I say, people who are pretending to lead the Muslim community on the path of progress, on the path of advancement and prosperity. Had it not been for you, perhaps even the word progress for the Muslim community would have been completely distorted in this country. I personally thank you, Imam Sahib, for all the work you have done. In the name of those people, those Muslims, those Mauritians who think like me, perhaps there are others who don't, because I am surprised that looking on this stage now, this moment, I can particularly notice that there is something strange. Because some years ago, in the past, whenever your presence, or rather, on every occasion and at every place where you were present, many great personalities shone by their presence as well. Tonight, it is strange indeed that when you are leaving us on a farewell party, when everyone should have been here to express his gratitude, those great personalities and distinguished personalities shine by their absence. It is strange. But what else can I do? If it is strange, and if it is a truth, I have to say it. Perhaps some of you have not observed it, but I have. Which goes on to raise doubt in my mind and in the minds of other people, that perhaps your presence now has become embarrassing, or that some people are embarrassed by your presence. I don't know which one is true. But one fact that cannot be denied is this: that you have not done anything wrong against anyone so far as I can. I shall perhaps fail in the task which I have undertaken just a moment ago to show what are the lessons that I believe, according to your own teaching, we should take from this whole incident and the whole situation. The fact that we are confronted with, that in spite of all the efforts done by the Muslim community and other people also of this country, for you to stay, to continue to serve us, we cannot obtain concrete results, and our efforts have not succeeded. Now this is a lesson. There is need for a lesson here. As I said, there must be something wrong. If we refuse to look at the situation and to take lesson, then I think all your teachings will have been in vain. Because this is what you have taught us. To learn from facts, to learn from experience, and in the light of the teachings of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and in the light of the teachings of Islam, to take lesson from every incident, every situation, every effort, every success, every failure, and to see what has been wrong, what should be done in the future. Now, in a country where we are free, where democratic principles prevail, where everyone knows that democracy is the rule, I don't know of any reason for which you shouldn't be allowed to stay, except subversion or any other action that you might have taken, or anything that you might have officially said, which has endangered the security of this country. Now, as far as I know, I do not see any example of such an action on your part. I cannot quote from memory any such word that you have said which might have disrupted peace and security in this country. And for this reason, the lesson which I am taking personally, I keep it to myself, and the lesson which you will, all present here tonight, take from the situation, the lesson which you will be taking will perhaps enlighten you more regarding your future course of action, and enlighten you more perhaps regarding what you should do in life. Thereupon, I shall end, Imam Sahib, not before saying one thing more. That I had the pleasure 2 years ago, before I went back to Belfast to pursue my studies, to work on a translation of a compilation rather of the rituals, Islamic principles or precepts on death or about death. And I know that I was reluctant to start that work because I am personally lazy about this type of thing, this type of task, because I believe it needs too much dedication, too much discipline, which I cannot personally impose upon myself. However, when you said that this is at least one opportunity that you are getting in life to do something good, if you have never had it in the past, then this is it. And that was enough for me to realize, indeed, it was as simple as that. But if man could seize every opportunity that he has in life to do something good, then there will be no problem in this world. I thank you for that lesson, Imam Sahib, and I once more beg not only the audience present here, the whole people of Mauritius, Muslims, and other communities as well, to take a lesson from the fact by which we have been confronted this past weeks, when efforts were being done for the extension of Maulana's permit of stay in this country. I thank you all. Thank you, Imam Sahib, and I wish you farewell. May God bless you. May you continue to do the work which you have said. And I firmly wish that you do not experience the same humiliation in other countries that you have experienced in this country. Thank you.